Okay, good evening. We continue the class with the same topic, that is functions in Python, right? We have already discussed about functions in our previous class, right? So let's discuss some more functions, right? Functions in Python, right? Today we will discuss about Lambda function. Lambda function. This is written when we write or when we want to make a short lines of code which is executable, right? So we will create Lambda function. It is an anonymous function, right? Anonymous function. It has multiple variables like A, B, C, and so on, but will contain only one expression. Only one expression that can be anything. A plus B plus C. This is only one expression, right? So you will make or you will put the lambda keyword to make lambda function, right? You can store this function into a variable X, right? So this has no block of code or the body of the function, right? This is only the simple function where we have to pass some variables. Variables can be anything or more than one, right? But it has only one expression, right? You cannot write or you cannot make uh, multiple expression while creating the lambda function. You cannot write like that. This is first expression and this is what? This is the second expression, but this is not acceptable for lambda function. That means this syntax is incorrect. You will only pass only one expression and variables can be anything, right? So suppose that I want to calculate the sum of two integer numbers, right? So lambda is a keyword which is used to make an anonymous function. How many values or how many variables we want to calculate or how many values we want to add here? Only two values we want to add, right? So we will pass two variables, right? With only one expression, A plus B. This is what? Expression, right? You cannot pass more than one expression by lambda function, right? This is the expression. And now store this value of the lambda function into variable LAM. LAM is nothing, just a variable name, which means lambda function, right? So lamb is a function. Now pass the argument. Suppose that print is what? Print this variable, and while printing this variable, pass the argument corresponding to that variable, like pass the two values here, 5 and 3, right? Which means you are passing this value to variable a and this value to variable b. So now the expression will be evaluated. You will get an answer that is 5 plus 3 is 8. Okay, you can pass more than two variables while giving only the expression for variable a and b, right? But pass only one expression. You cannot pass more than one expression. Okay, let's do practical on this. I create a function that is lambda function, right? I'm passing variables here a and b with one expression, that can be anything a plus b, right? Now it will return the addition of these two variables, right? So now store this return into a variable x. Now print that function by using the function name. Function name is what? This will be your function name because you are storing the result to variable a. Now pass the arguments corresponding to that variable, right? 5 comma 3. Now you will get what? 8. Okay, is it clear? Suppose that if you are passing more than one expression, suppose that a minus b, so that means this is not acceptable because this is the multiple expressions which you will not pass here, right? So you will get an error, name a is not defined, right? So we have already defined all the things, right? So we can only pass only one expression while creating the lambda function. So this is expression and this is the parameters which we are passing for evaluating an expression, right? Now expression can be anything. Suppose that a uh, b, now calculate the power of a number by using exponential sign, that is a b. Now I'm passing 5 as a number and I want to calculate the power of this number, right? Now the output will be 5 multiplied by 5 multiplied by 5. That means 125. Is it clear?
Yes.
We can also pass uh, some other expressions like a pro division by b. So that means it will return the remainder of the numbers, right? So now the remainder is what? Remainder is 5 will be divided by 3.
Yes.
What will you get as a remainder? What is the remainder here?
Only two.
2. 2 is the remainder.
Yes.
Okay. Yes, correct. 2 is the remainder, but it returns the quotient of the
Returns one, remember two.
one is the quotient. It returns the it this operator returns the quotient of the number, and if you want to calculate the remainder of this number, so you have to put the modulo sign. This will return the remainder of the number. Now you will get the 2 as your answer. Is it clear? That you can also pass the logical operators, or you can uh, also pass the comparison operators like A is greater than B, right? So here A
Yes.
is what? 5 and B is what? 3. If the expression is true, then it will return true. Otherwise, false. Right? Or
Yes.
uh, you can pass the arithmetic. Suppose you can pass logical operators like that. See, I'm
Okay.
taking 3 variables and I want to calculate the value. A is greater than B and A is greater than C. This is a single expression, right? This is not the multiple or expression. This is the complete single expression. Now calculate the 15. 15 is what? The value of variable C. Now A is greater than B
Yes.
and A is greater than C. If both the conditions is true, then it will return true. Otherwise, false.
Okay.
What what has it written? False, because A is less than A is not less than B. So that condition has become false. And operators, what does and operators return the true when all the conditions met true, right? So it will return true,
Yes.
otherwise false. If any one condition becomes false, then it will return false. So here it has
Okay.
written false. Now if I say A is greater than B, A is greater than B, 5 is greater than 3, and A is greater than
Yes.
C, or you can say that A is less than C. Now the both the conditions are correct, it will return true. Okay, but this is the complete expression. You can pass only one expression while creating the lambda function. Okay, is it clear? Is it clear?
Okay. Yes.
Okay. Now the next topic is what?
Yes.
Function recursion.
Okay.
Function recursion. Function recursion means function calls by itself. Suppose let's make a function, simple function, that is def my function, my function. Now print an statement like print hello. Okay. Now inside the body of the function, call this function. Okay. So here now the main calling is that. So this is the syntax of recursive function. Function calls by itself, right?
Yes.
So here you can see that uh, this is the recursive calling where function is calling by itself, right? Or it will go to the depth limit of the function. Now the depth limit of the function is 1000 is the depth limit. Depth limit of the function.
1000.
Function recursively call up to 1000 times. Okay, so this is the depth limit function. Python sets the maximum depth limit of the function. In that case, in that situation, the function calls the 1000 times. When the depth limit is exceeded, now the function calling will be terminated. Is it clear? Is it clear? Is it clear?
Yes.
Okay, let's do practical. Make a recursion function. That's my function, right? So here I am making, I write an statement that is hello, right? And call function inside the function, right? So this is what recursive calling. Now see this function calls recursively up to its depth limit. When the depth
Okay.
limit is exceeded, this calling will be terminated. Okay, so here you can see that this is the output. See this maximum recursion depth exceeded while calling a Python object. We have called this recursively function, or this uh, has exceeded, right? So now the function after that you will get recursion error because it's limit, right? Is it clear? Now make a program to find the factorial of a given number given by user by recursive calling, right? Suppose that uh, I create a function that is def fact. Fact is what? Factorial, right? So here, suppose that I want to calculate the factorial of 5. So that means every time 5, 5, the value will be decreased by 1. 5 multiply by 4, multiply by 3, multiply by 2, multiply by 1. And the value of these expression will be the factorial of this number, right? So now we have to do this calculation by recursive calling. We have created, we have to create the base class while creating the recursive calling, right? So here you will create a base class. Suppose that user enter a number, an integer number. Number can be anything. So we will take inputs from the user by using input function. Suppose, right? Enter number to find factorial, right? So user will enter any number, any integer number. Now while calling the function, we will pass the variable inside this function. If the number, if the number is equal to 0, then it will return what? It will return what? 1. Because if I multiply any, if I multiply 0 with any number, so if I multiply 0 with these numbers, so that whole value will be 0. So that's why I have written 1 when the number is equal to 0. Now if I, the number is not equal to 0, or then it will return the recursive calling. Recursive calling would return 5 multiply by, we will decrease by 1, right? So now call this function recursively, and what is that? This is the number
Yes.
this is the number which we will take from user. Now multiply fact num minus 1. This is recursive calling, right? So here this is the base class. This is what? This is the base class. Base code or base class, right? Base code. Suppose that user enter 3 as a number, right? So you will get number 3 as argument. Now receive this number while creating the definition of the function. You will receive this value by this parameter. You can take same variable name, or you can also do differentiate, right? So if number is equal to 0, now the number is what? 3 is equal to 0. So that condition is incorrect, right? So that block will not be executed. Now the compiler or interpreter will come in inside the else block, and here you, what you will get, step 1. Step 1, you will get return, right? Return num, the value num multiply by fact fact num minus 1. Num is what? Sorry, num is what? 3. And here is what? Num minus 1. Num minus 1 is what? 2. Okay. Now it will call recursively, then it will send the argument 2, which will receive by this parameter. Now the again this condition will be compared. Now the value of num is 2 is equal to 0. Is still incorrect. So this, the else block will be executed. Now you will get step 2 for return. Return, what is the value of num at that time? 2. The value of at that time 2. So you will get 2 multiply by fact 2 minus 1 will become 1. It will call recursively one more time. So here you will send the 1 as the argument. Now the the value will be received 1 to this parameter. Now it will check once again. Now value will become 1 is equal to 0. Now it is still incorrect. At that time, the else block will be executed. So here you will get return what? Number is what? 1. 1 multiplied by fact 1 minus 1 will become 0. Now here you will send 0 as your argument, which will receive into this parameter num is equal to 0. Now the value of num is equal to 0. Right. Now here you will compare this value to 0. 0 is equal to 0. So that means this condition or this expression is evaluated to true. Now this block will be executed and it will return only the 1. Right. So in the fourth step, it will return 1. This step or this return keyword will return the value at first calling. Right. So first calling from where this function has called from this calling, right? So now the value of this function will be 1, right? So this will become 1 multiplied by 1, that will become 1, complete whole value. Now at the 3 step, you will return the value which will return into that function, right? To that function. Now the value of 2 multiplied by 1, that will become 2. Now it will return 2. Return 2, that will return to that function, right? So now you will get 2 multiplied by 3, right? So 3 multiplied by 2 will be 6, and this 6 will return to the to here. Okay, now let's store this result into a variable res and print this result accordingly, right? You will get output, right? So output 6. Sorry, is it clear?
Yes.
Is it okay? Now let's do practical for this function. Define function on the base class that is equal to what? 0. Okay, so it will return only 1. Else return num multiply num minus 1. Okay. Call the function and pass the value of num which will take from user. Enter any integer number find factorial, right? Now store this value, this result into variable res and enter. Result by print function. A user will enter 3, will what will get, but for most given. Okay, so send this argument to the parameter num. Right? So here you will see that 6. Okay. You enter 5, will get 1. Okay, you can find factorial by recursive calling. Is it clear? Is it clear? Yes or no? Is it clear? Is
Yes.
it clear? Yes, okay.
Yes. Hello.
Now we have created this topic, okay, function in Python. In the next lecture, we will start a new topic. Okay, so practice with this topic, and I'll send some questions and try to solve these questions and send
Okay.
all the solutions onto the group. Right. Till that, goodbye. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay. Bye. Bye.